I'm AJ Merron, but you can call me James. It's actually my first proper YouTube video. I know I attempted one earlier a few years ago, but things kind of got in the way. And today I've come somewhere a little bit different. You see, I'm a writer and a poet, and I like to come places that are going to inspire me and give me ideas. So today I've come into Glasgow, and you might think that doesn't look like Glasgow behind you, but believe me, this is actually Glasgow. This is Pollok Country Park, which is the largest park in Glasgow. It's also Glasgow's only country park, which I have absolutely no idea what that means. It's actually been part of the Maxwell family estate since around 1269. So it took them a while to gift it to the city, to say the least. It was originally farmland that was used primarily for the raising of cattle. And because of that, there's actually still some cattle here. You can see them here in the distance. Unfortunately, there isn't a road that I could get to, a pathway that was closer to them, and they were determined to stay in the shade. It's a pretty warm day today. Which is why I'm staying in the shade too. There's a river that runs through the park here, and it's not the Clyde, to say the least. The river that runs through here is White Cart Water, which is actually a tributary to the Clyde. It joins the Clyde close to Renfrew though. I've actually come here not only to see Pollok Park, but to actually go to the Burrell Collection. The Burrell Collection is an art collection that again was gifted to the city and the people of Glasgow. But this time it was a gift from Sir William Burrell, a man who was a merchant mostly, but he had a particular fancy for buying and collecting art, and he bought his first piece of art when he was 15 using the shilling he'd been given in order to buy a cricket bat. In some ways I could say that he got his priorities straight. I got to apologise for all the sort of work trucks and things. They're doing quite a lot of work around here, and particularly of course the Burrell has been under a lot of work for the past couple of years at least, with some interruptions thanks to COVID. But today I've come for a preview. It's actually due to reopen to the public again in about a week. And the Burrell was always, and always has been for many years, probably my favourite place, favourite gallery and museum in Glasgow. And it's a testament in a way to Glasgow and to the people of Glasgow that such a collection was a gift. William Burrell was a bit like that though. He was a staunch believer that education should be free. A sentiment I can entirely understand and agree with. And it was in that thinking that he gifted the collection. And it wasn't a gift upon his death once he'd been done with it. Actually, he gifted it during his lifetime and insisted that it should be housed in a countryside setting and be free to be seen and enjoyed by the public people of Glasgow. There's about 9,000 items in the Burrell Collection, which is kind of amazing considering that, unlike many other collections like that in British museums and the like, they weren't, you know, thieved. He collected, bought them from legitimate sellers, travelled the world, and found often small but beautiful objects. And if you can, I really would encourage you to come and see it. Come and enjoy the Burrell Collection, because it is free and it's definitely worth it. It's in a beautiful building which has gone under some incredible renovations as well. The building itself was a bit of a modernist design, and so it incorporated a lot of glass when it was built, and they've had to do some fixing of that, because believe it or not, they used to have to cool the building 10 months out of every year. Like, if you know Glasgow at all, I want you to take that in. They used to have to cool the building 10 months of the year. Sounds insane. But nevertheless, it was the case, and now it's no longer going to be, thanks to some clever retrofitting new glass and new energy and environmental control systems. It's not going to be a problem. It's a far more sustainable building than it was, far less energy intensive. There's also been several changes to make the building far more accessible. There's new elevators and flatter, wider passages to get around. So if you do have accessibility issues, then you know it's worth taking in that actually it's going to be a pretty friendly place to visit for you. But for me, it's really about what it all means to me. There's some incredible pieces of art in that collection, some beautiful things. And of course, some of the things that I find most inspiring actually are works by Degas. I've always loved Degas, and to see some Degas is always extremely welcome. There's much more than that. Some incredible historical pieces. I was quite surprised actually that there's a piece there from Palmyra. Of course, William Burrell got it a long time ago now. At least 100 years ago. And today we know Palmyra is somewhere that there's very little left. And so I kind of feel both sad at the losses from the place that's seen the destructions of war, but also a little hopeful, with a little joy that there is still a peace living on, and hopefully there always will be. Sorry, I'm just kind of enjoying that bird song at the moment. It's really quite an amazing place, this, actually. I think it's always something that, you know, no matter what you do, if you are creative in any way, you should always make time to go to places where you can see the creative works of others, especially those that came long before us, because in some ways it's an incredible reminder that people don't really change very much. In the grand scheme of things, people are just people. We were people 700 years ago, 2,000 years ago, and we're still people today. We still love and we still hate. But it's also worth looking at the progression of things and what people care about, what people value. Because those things are always reflected in art. So yeah. Also in the middle of Pollok Country Park here is Pollok House, which of course belonged to the Maxwell family. The estate here has been the site of 3 different castles. Can you believe that? The first one was built in 1160, which, you know, it's a year second ago in some for the history of Scotland and the British Isles in general, but 1160 nonetheless. And the last and final castle was eventually demolished finally in 1882. I think that maybe they did that in order to build the house, but no. The house actually was built in 1752. So imagine that. There used to be a castle and the house here. Fortunately, I never managed to find any images of the castle. I suppose it's a bit early. It's probably sketches somewhere, I suppose. I'd love to try and dig them out of an archive, probably, but maybe that's something I'll try and do someday. Here I am. I'm going to go and see some beautiful art, but I'm in this beautiful place as well. I think perhaps it's just that William Burrell understood the undeniable link between the aesthetics of art and the aesthetics of the natural world. That in fact in human creativity there's often a kind of aching for the natural world. We do our best often to copy it, to reflect it. And it's not as though we don't see it, but it's like there's something in us that's lost without that connection to the world around us, to the natural course of things. And in turn, when I write, I tend to write nature, but I also tend to write about people, as though there's no real difference. And that might seem strange to some, but of course it seems perfectly natural to others. Why would there be a difference between human beings and the natural world? We are part of the natural world. We can't survive without it. But yet, so often, we kind of act like we can act and do live outside it. Like we don't need it. And yet we do. So, if you have enjoyed this, please don't forget to leave a like, subscribe. I'm going to be doing one of these, I think, every week. Should be every Sunday. I've got the next one already lined up, and I think the one after that already lined up. So go for it. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell, so that you'll be notified and know when I'm actually posting, hopefully. Or just remember to come back on Sundays. Thanks for watching anyway.